Hey guys, some of you wanted to know how I make keto milk bread. So I'm just gonna make a quick video since it's not that hard, and I'll just leave the ingredients and the measurements down below for you guys to use. So I've already put the mixture in, most of the dry ingredients. What you really need is the baking powder, almond flour, the psyllium husk, but you have to turn it into powder. Kind of a sweetener so it can activate the yeast. Since this is a keto bread, you can either use inulin, INULIN, or I use swerve. It's an erythritol. That's how it's read. And baking powder. What else? Oh, you also need some protein powder, non-flavored, and I'm going to pour in this hot and okay, so milk bread also, yeah, of course, needs milk. And what the key is that people don't really know is psyllium husk by itself with the almond flour does not work unless you activate it with some kind of hot liquid, so it binds it like gluten. It's not gluten, so it is gluten-free. So that is the key. So what I'm going to do right now is pour hot milk. And I just heated this 2 cups of hot milk in the microwave for like 5 minutes because it was in the refrigerator. And I'm going to activate it. And I'm going to let that cool and sit for a bit. Usually what I do, and I wasn't going to say, is put eggs, and it should call for 3 eggs, but I'm trying to figure out how to make this more or less dense. So I'm going to leave the eggs out for now. And then I'm also going to heat up some butter to see if that will be okay without the eggs. And I'm going to let that cool. And then once it cools down to where it's about room temperature but not too cold, I'm going to add in the yeast. Right here, this is the dry active yeast. Because if you put it in right now, it's going to kill the yeast and it will not rise. And that's not what you want to do. And we'll wait for that to cool. And I'll just go ahead and heat up some butter. And we'll be right back. Okay, so finally my mixture has finally cooled down. I've added the yeast. I've attached my paddle attachment to my cake mixer and just mix really well. Make sure it's not too dry, a little sticky and pliable, and you're good to go. The reason I did not add the eggs this time is because eggs usually is more of a binder. It also helps, what I bred is it helps the bread or dough to raise better. But since almond flour is already oily and already makes the dough more dense, I decided for now to leave the eggs out, add the yeast, and see how it goes. I really want it to be a flaky, fluffy bread, not so dense. I mean, it was fluffy last time I made it, but I'm trying to make it more flaky, if that makes sense. If you're asking where I got my almond flour, I got it from Costco. You can get a big old bag. The psyllium husk you can get at Sprouts if there's a Sprouts near you. I got the Now brand, and you have to, you can't just add the husk by itself. You actually have to turn it into powder, pulverize it with a really good blender, and the rest, like Swerve, you can get it at, if you're in Texas, HEB. But I think Costco also has Swerve. If not, you can use monk fruit, inulin, whatever your choice is. For the hot liquid, you can use whatever you choose. If you want this to be vegan and also keto, you can use cashew milk, almond milk. And if you don't want it to be milk bread, you can just be regular dough, and you just add regular hot water. The choice is yours. If you want to try adding egg to see how it goes, I would just try adding 1 egg. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it out. It was a little too dense for me, and like I said, the almond flour is already fattening as is because of the oils. So as for the eggs, it also has adding fat to it. So I'm just gonna leave it out, and we're just gonna mix it really well, and that is it. It's pretty simple, nothing fancy, no bright lights or special features or anything like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing. Pull this out. Oh, plug it in. That's pretty much it. Just mix really well, and enjoy, and bake for 350 if you wanted to make it into a loaf of bread, kolaches, tortillas, or you can, if you want to make tortillas without the yeast, no yeasty flavor to it, you can leave that out. I added the butter. I forgot to mention, I added the butter for a little buttery flavor. If you don't want to use butter, you can use coconut butter, and I'll make that in a later video. Or if you don't want to use any kind of extra fats like oil or anything that has fats, like good fats in it, then you can just leave it out. But the key is to activate the psyllium husk, because that's what helps to bind the almond flour by adding a hot liquid to it to give it a good chew. Otherwise, I did try the first time I've used psyllium husk, I did not add the hot liquid, and it just fell apart. So the key is to activate the psyllium husk with a hot liquid. Other than that, I hope you enjoy. Comment down below. Private message me if you have any other questions. And thanks for watching. Bye.